Okay, let us get to... Oh my word. I don't know about the lockdown's really making me like tired all the time at the minute, which isn't good. Anyway, I've got some things that I need to do, so let's see. So I'm working on the wiki at the minute. As you may or may not know, the wiki is my personal vanity project slash my Gamedev thing that I've been doing. Now, do tell me in channel, by the way, if my microphone is not loud enough, okay? That's important, otherwise I'll not know, because I'm not using headphones at the minute. Now, what I need to do is, I've made some changes to the actual lighthouse itself for ergonomic reasons, basically to make it look a bit better. And I have looked at changing the lighthouse keeper's house, but I'm not overall happy with how the lighthouse keeper's house came out by comparison to everything else. So what I'm thinking is I might keep the lighthouse keeper's house, the original one, and trade it off the actual lighthouse. I really don't know, to be honest. I'm kind of stuck in trying to decide at the minute. It's difficult simply because obviously, you know, there's a lot of decisions to be made regarding it. So we shall see. Anyway, it's going to load up. It'll take a little while. You can see up here in the top left corner where it says GPU tweak that I've got my window opening. Blimey. It's going to be quiet today, I can tell. Alright, here we go. Now, I've actually got two windows open for Unreal Engine, not one. There's another one here, okay? So, just in case you're wondering where the magic's coming from, it's a little bit quicker for me to do it that way. Now, oops. I'm just rearranging my screen a bit to make things a bit easier for me. There we are. Right. Also, it means that this little thing's just underneath the window with my face on. Now, here is the original, OG, as they say. Okay, so that's here. Which leads up to my lighthouse, which I quite like, but I'm caught because I also like this one. Also, many thanks to Daniox for following, and Ayaku. Again, everyone has mental sounding names. And I also have this one, which is obviously a lot more subtle. Now, what I'm thinking is I may just keep the lighthouse, which is this bit, and the connecting corridor, and get rid of the other bits. I haven't decided yet, and it's a tricksy one, okay, because I mean the house is okay that I've worked on, but very basic compared to what I was enjoying before. Okay, now don't get me wrong, a lot of it is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to see, I'm going to decide. once I've decided, obviously, you know, we shall see. Now, I'm going to go to my main level. Okay, so let's go to clean template. Actually no, file, new level. Let's go to empty template. Now, I'll just move this over to here. And pardon me. Right, so I'm going to go into my Lighthouse Meshes folder, which is just here, just in case you were wondering. And let me see, so there's my actual lighthouse base, complete with door. Now, let me just check out the collision mesh. And yeah, I had a feeling. So if I go to details and look at coal, use complex collision as simple. Okay, now inside here we have our different floors, we have our different stairs. So what I need to do is I need to go in and start work on the stairs and the floor. Right, so spiral staircase 1. Bring that in. Okay, I'm just going to start basically putting this stuff together. So next, Lighthouse Fluor 1. Make sure there's no gaps. There's a little gap there, look. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my lighthouse using basically what I've learned. Oops a daisy. And the parts that I've got now for my lighthouse. Next, come down here. Play from here. Okay, so as long as I can get up the stairs, that's the important thing. Now let's make sure these are lined up properly. can be quite hard sometimes working with these things, just to make sure everything's at the right level. There we are. Oh, thanks, Nick. Let's have a look. Okay, Nick, can you tell me, please, is that working now for both channels? Because I've turned the microphone to mono rather than recording in stereo. I'm not used to this new microphone yet, so you can probably just see it hanging out over here. So it's picking up from the left, but I've turned it to single channel now. Also, thank you for letting me know. Oh, that's brilliant, thank you. Yeah, it's because I had it clicked on stereo, so it was just picking up stereo. It's a good little microphone, I'm just not very used to it yet, unfortunately. Right, let me just make a copy of these. 1, 2, 1, 2. Reason being that this one I can then replace with the second floor. That's third floor. Oh, right, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, thank you for letting me know, by the way. You'd be surprised, a lot of people go, oh, that's not right, and just not say a damn thing. And so I've got no idea whether things are working or not. So your assistance is very much appreciated. Like, I imagine if people are like, you know, doing the television and stuff, they've got people who are there who are going like, oh yeah, we can't hear a damn thing the news person's saying. That's okay, we'll just let him do what he's doing. There we go. Blind assembling. There we go. That goes there. And that goes there. Okay, now this lighthouse is, because I liked my lighthouse, however I saw this one, and this one's actually been based on the one from the film The Lighthouse. And so I was like, gotta have this. And it's a new one that's just came out on the Epic Store, so I thought, well, I'll have a look at it. And I loved it, you know, and I mean, I've done a lot of work on lighthouses. I've built my own bloody lighthouse, you know. But this is, here we go. This is by George Shachnev, and it is very, very good indeed. Very, very good indeed. An excellent lighthouse model. So I thought, well, I'll see about kind of using his assets and my assets mixed together, because that's the whole point of asset packs, is being able to go kind of, right, I'm going to use that one and this one. Anyway, let's get these stairs worked on some more. So, bring those up. Again, I have my other window with my assets up top. Hello, Chris Bim. How are you? Sorry, I didn't see you chatting. I'm not sure why my stream chat is only showing me my Twitch chat. Okay, so anyway, hello Chris, how are you? I can see you in the kind of conversational window on the left. It's just obviously that's on a different screen to the one that I usually use, so it's kind of hard to focus sometimes. Right, anyway, what was I doing? I've forgotten. Oh yeah. So floor 1, here we are, 4th floor, go here, right click and replace. Yeah, so like I say, I found this better, what do you call it, set of assets for a lighthouse that I've been working on. Oh, hello New Caledonia. I hope it's nice where you are. And, oops, shit, should not have done that. There we go. Yeah, I hope the weather's nice where you are, my dude. could well be dark where you are actually. So. Now you'll notice I'm getting a lot of window intersection going on here, so I need to be wary of that. I don't want my windows to kind of cross over my actual lighthouse. There we go. Now then, let me have a look at my doors and windows and things. So, I need a floor. So, let me see, my floor would be here. There we go. And it is a very nice floor, incidentally. The person who designed this knows their floors. It's all lined up as best as possible, because we're looking to avoid gaps. Very important. And trust me, if you've ever worked with another artist's asset pack, you'll know what I'm talking about here. It is very, very hard to get these to line up. Very hard. Because the other artist that's made the assets, they know what they're doing. They know how to set it up. They know exactly, you know, because they built it. I'm guilty of this myself so many, many times. But obviously it's completely different if you're coming into the asset pack as a kind of a foreigner almost. Right, now let me check these. Now my guess is that I'm trying to match up a lot of these. See there? So cast iron was an absolute godsend, you will find, for almost every aspect of industrial engineering around about this period, which is why these all look like this. There we are. Nice. Okay, next, the windows. Now, how can I offset the windows? "45 degrees, 45 degrees." Because that window is going to be too high to get to. I've got to think logically here, my dears. I reckon we're looking at another 45 degrees minimum. See, that one's now at half interspersed through the floor, so that's no bloody good, is it? So we know that's not right, because you would not have that no matter what. So that's back where we started, and you can see we've still got a floor intersection going on there. Let's move it this way. There we are. Right, so stairs now run over your head as you go in. No, because that window is intersected as well. Dear me, I need to turn it 180 degrees this way. So they're closer, it's just that intersecting window there. It's kind of going through the floor, if you know what I mean. Now there is a space there, let's see if that works. Right, doesn't, because now I've got two windows that are intersected with the floor. I don't think there's a way of fixing this, to be honest, so I'm going to put it back to here. I might just block up that window. We shall see. We shall see. Now, let's see. I use a lot of workbenches, so this is going to be called Workbench LH while I work on the lighthouse. And let me see, we've got some ladders, got ladder rings, ladder tops, ladder windows, thick windows, fireplaces, curtain, base of a brick tower. Okay. Upper concrete ring. See, the thing is, this has been assembled so precisely. There we go. So that's how we get up to the inner concrete ring, which is then obviously a part of this concrete brick tower. Goes on there, and then is surrounded by these other windows. Ugh. I can see this is going to be a bit of a pain in the arse to manually put together. I think it is time for a cunning plan. Levels. Add existing. This is going to be quicker. Messier, but also quicker. Right. Okay. Now this door can go, definitely. Okay. Okay, so let's see, select actors. Boy, I'm glad you're watching a professional like me who knows exactly what he's doing all the damn time. level, move selection to current level. Okay, so these should now all come across to here. Yes. Okay, so let's see. Next I should be able to hide my main persistent level. Hello viewers. Oh. Okay, so Lighthouse demo map, I'll get rid of that. That just leaves my persistent level now with this bloody thing in it. Like so. Okay, great. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, because I've got Workbench LH, I'm going to go to my recent levels and go to my clean template. Because this has been giving me some consternation, and I'd prefer it not to. Okay, now I'm going to go and take away these bits, of which there were many. My problem is that I'm a very impatient kind of an artist. One of my many problems, to be honest. So there we go. I always tend to make things modular though, because with modular comes reusability, so that is why my stuff tends to look the way it does. I'm going to leave that staircase back there where it was, okay, because that is, I think that's important for the future. Now, I did a lot of work yesterday on this, but I'm prepared to go back and erase the progress that I've made, because sometimes you look at something and you go, could have done better. There's no shame in admitting to yourself that you could have done better, you know. Right, see these? If you can't select something, it's because it's translucent. So press T, and that's translucent select. There we go. So now, as you can see, I have a big empty thing here, covered in cobbles. Probably keep the cobbles on there for the moment. Now, do have a lot of decal going on here, so we shall see if I keep the decals. Now that I'm going to save as, okay, because my clean template had my lighthouse on it. And I'm going to call it Workbench LH Dev, because I'm working on the lighthouse at the moment. There we are. Now, as we can see, my lighthouse is not there now, so could be a problem to passing ships. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to levels, and I'm going to add an existing, and I'm going to take my workbench LH. Now the workbench LH will not be huge. Okay, that's the first thing. So right click, select actors, there it is. Let's get it up into the right place. And I'm going to be using my proper transforming gizmo. There we are. Okay, get this in the middle. Okay, let's just get these lined up. There we go. We want to be able to get into our bloody lighthouse. That's a bit better. I like the reinforced look on it, although these, okay, are probably not ideal for what I need now, because these are the old-fashioned props. So let's go to materials. As we can see, this was not designed for this, which is why they're kind of all over the bloody place. Decisions, decisions, decisions. There are things that can be done, and I think the best way to done them would be to use this, which is my tower just here. Now let's move this over to here. I've got a feeling there's going to be too much stretch here without me changing my UVs on this significantly. If you look, these are all like stretched to death. Yeah, I'd probably need to make a new version of these where they're tiling slightly more. In order for this to work. As you can see, that's far too stretched, especially as we're going to be literally right next to it. Okay, so what other options do I have? I could decal it. I might just have to basically redo this entire part, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's have a look. Let's give this a moment. Let's have a look. Oh, 228 shaders. How lovely. That's a lot of shaders. Still, give me a chance to read my email. Dear Mr. Robson, is your penis big enough? I mean, I do have an idea, I suppose. I've got a suspicion that I may have too many big textures as well. So let me have a look. Yeah, these are all bloody 4Ks. So I'm probably going to have to decimate some of these textures as well, because as you can see at the minute, my streaming pool's like way over budget, like way. So yeah, let's turn that back to what it was. Now then, this rock. What can I do with you, rock? Okay. Now we have the bottom part here. Aha. Okay, so I also have a collar. See if we can find the collar. There it is. So if I bring down this collar as well, expand that. Now we start getting this kind of nice separation point between the two meshes. And I can do that. Nice. Okay, now okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so my texture streaming pool is pretty large at the minute, but that's mostly because of the 4K maps. Mostly because of those, so okay, so R dot streaming pool size. Oh, I forgot to put a dot in there, sorry. Okay, and I need to change that to equals 2000. Why not? I can turn off stat streaming. As we can see now, it's not bothering to tell me the message that it gave me, so I'll bring that down. to 1,500. And I can fix that in my config later on, but it'll just stop it doing it for the moment. Yeah, that works a lot better in my opinion, having this here. Now then, can I rename this? Yep, and I can make it visible if I want to, so I can hide and unhide that. Brilliant. Okay, next. That's going to make it a lot easier for taking things away to work with. Next I'm going to take this away, and this away, and this away, and this away. So if I don't need this base, there is literally no point in me having it. I'll get rid of these decal actors as well. It's all part of the fun of the cleanup, isn't it? Yeah, I knew there was a decal actor hiding in here. Look at that. I was right. There's another one hiding there as well. I'm sure of it. I will find it. It could be this one actually. Yeah, it is. I love decals, but I was a little bit heavy-handed with them when I first used them. Now this development part here, you see, is like 6 months plus old. So, and like last night I was messing around with the water system, and I realised that I really need to get back to using the native water system in Unreal Engine, because it's really powerful and I want some of that beautiful water effect. My wife absolutely loves this island that I've created, because well, obviously it's quite attractive, and she just really likes it, which is fair enough. There we go. That means now that I've got the house and I can lean it up against this, and I think what I can do is I can connect this area here to the main lighthouse over there, so I think that's going to be a lot easier for me. Okay, so how shall I do this? I think let's double click back on my persistent level here. Okay, that way anything I add in goes into my persistent level, yeah. Now I want to move some things here into a new streaming level, so I'm going to make a new one, and I'm going to call my new streaming level empty, and we'll call it streaming keeper's house. Okay, so that can now come in as streaming keeper's house, and this means that anything I select now I can move across to my streaming keeper's house. So first things first, I'm going to start hiding some bits, so skybox mesh, that way it's not selectable. Now I can select these. These are my variable use doors. I need to fix those, which is one of the reasons I've just deleted them. Let's get rid of this landscape and this fence. Okay, the more stuff that's out of the way the better. So I want to be able to select this here. Okay, now let me see, I should be able to move the actors to this level, and then if I hide that, it means they'll get hidden as soon as they're moved, which is great. Okay, so each time I do this, as you can see, I'm kind of selecting more stuff. Be careful how I do this. Basically, this is just allowing me to pile things into here, which makes things a lot easier because it's unloading it basically from my main level now. As you see, like, there's less and less and less and less and less stuff here left to move, so what's that? Exponential height fog, you shouldn't be there, go over there. Right. Should be getting to the point now where these are pretty much moving out of the way. There's probably going to be a few bits of mess left, but that doesn't bother me, because I can clean up once I'm done. What are these? Oh, they're decals. Ah. Okay. As you can see, there's an awful lot of decals. Now if I come across to here and move those to that level. Right, let's have a look. Yep, great. Now I'm going to come around this side, and this bit here isn't needed, so let's get rid of it. Okay, so some progress there has been made. Let's do some saves. And I'm going to save this if it's not already saved. Okay, World Outliner. Right, so I need a landscape back. I need my fence back. And I could do with probably my sky back. Okay, just to make things a little bit more visual. There we go. So now what I can do is I can go in and I can work individually on each of these levels that's been put into this, and that'll make things a wee bit easier for me. Like, and by a wee bit I mean really a lot easier. Right, and this house here, probably, if I select actors, I want to move it to about there. There, that's better. Much better, actually. Okay, so looking down over there, everything's fine. Good. Next, World Outliner. Let's do some work on this. So I'm going to change my streaming speed up to about 7. I need to be able to get into this. Now I don't need a landscape that is actually this large. So, levels. And let's go into my persistent level. I'll double click on that, otherwise not that one. Modes, landscape. And I want to delete. And what I'm doing is I'm deleting the excess blocks that I don't need. Okay, because there's no need to have these. I don't need them. They're going to be hidden under the water. I've been meaning to do this for about 8 months, maybe longer actually. As you see, it heavily reduces the amount of stuff that Unreal Engine has to do if I get rid of it. And as you can see, I do have a few anomalies from when I actually captured the dem height data for this part of the world. So much easier when you split things down like this. It really is. It's going to load a lot less stuff in. Again, by the way, thank you to the person who told me about my microphone only broadcasting from the left. This is now being fixed. Okay, let's just check that I'm not cutting off anything that's really essential down here. I don't think I am. I'm really just trimming my level as much as I can. See there, for example, I can definitely trim those parts. There's just no need for them, so look here. No, there's definitely no need for that bit either. Okay, so if it's not being used, we get rid of it. A lot of the time the shore is just denoted by the actual meshes that I've been using. Okay, that's cool. Now let's look under here, because there's some far away meshes that were probably placed here back in the oldie days and not really needed. So there's one. Now then, with this one, I can see that it's kind of sticking up here. Okay, filling this hole. I'm sure there's better ways of doing that, so I'll come back to it, besides which that hole could be useful. And this one is probably the same. Yeah, it is. I did that a lot, kind of using these to fill gaps. There's another one here. Now that one's much larger, so I'll put that one back for the moment. Interesting, when I do that the fog kind of goes crazy. God knows why. Okay. That looks okay. Right click, play from here. Just to get a good view of it, and you can see that, where's the house gone and the lighthouse? I love that, the fact that you can turn them off. Only load them when you need them. Right. Change streaming method. Blueprint or always loaded. So I can have them always loaded if I want. I think I'm just going to load them up using the blueprint, and that way these levels won't actually be loaded up until we need them, which is going to be hooray city. Right, next. Oops, I forgot I've got mega fast movement on there. Okay, so I'm going to change my mega fast movement down to about 4. I may yet get rid of this temporary fence, I shall decide. Okay, so now I need to look at this. So, blah, 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 mode, landscape, sculpting, flattening. So my persistent level. I see, so that part's actually higher than this part, which is why it's like that. So what I want to do is bring in a more regular kind of floor here where possible. Up and it starts to work a little bit better. Over here as well. Too many steps there, so I'm going to fix that in a minute. And over here, now then, I need some sculpting, and I'm going to use my circle brush, alpha brush. There we go. And that just allows us to add a little bit of roughness around here, which is kind of what I wanted. Because we do have some exciting shapes to deal with. And I've just reduced that one, because I don't want it coming through the wall. Speaking of which, this one. Like that. Okay, because remember this is supposed to be obviously the top of a big old outcrop. Now over here in the middle, I was working on this the other day and I liked it, so I'm going to do it a bit more just here. Okay, and that gives us this, which will be a pool, pond or whatever. Just reduce the size of my brush, make it a bit more cragged in the middle, and then I can go over and paint this as well, which will be nice. And again, as for the liquid, I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet, so we shall see. Yeah, that looks much better clinging to the rock like that. Okay. There. Now, what I'm going to do is come into my paint tool. And under my paint tool, let's see. I want some mud, baby, mud. I'm going to reduce the size of this. Let's make some mud. Okay, reduce the scale there, and there to there. And I'm going to put some puddles in. Just running them around here a bit. No, we can't have bent puddles because that looks bloody stupid. So I'm going to just change this from regular mud, I think. Just undo those puddles there. We'll put puddles in over here. Because this is much more flat and therefore more likely to actually get a puddle. Now I can see that the flat area goes as far as there, so that's where I'll drag it to. And there. Now then, let's get back into some nice mud again, and here. And around here. Now this is relatively flat, so I can put some puddles in. I'll put some here as well, because it rains a lot. There we go. I'll have some actually in here as well. Can't have too many puddles. Well, you can, but there we go. Next, this bit in here. Let's go back into sculpting. Let's smooth this down. And go back to painting. Now, it wouldn't be dunes, so I think I'm just going to make it mud down at the bottom here. Okay, so that gives us some nice mud. Changes the look nicely as well. Next, these bloody curtains need to be rotated, so well, the curtains, yep. There we go. Changes the direction in which the light is blazing out, i.e. that away. Beautiful. Next. I can come back in and fix up these beds now, so that's good. Like that, for example. I need to make a proper kind of walk up to there, which I can do from here, so that's very helpful. Not sure what this decal's on. And for landscape, yeah, that looks okay. So what I need to do then is save all. And ooh, blimey. Quite a bit of progress has been made there. I'm going to have to fix those stones soon. Interesting. Let's try that. R.texture streaming. Oh, it doesn't like that, does it? Yeah, that's now using all my memory. However, on the other side, it has loaded all of the textures in, which it was not doing before. And if I turn texture streaming back on, it does that. Yeah. Most of the texture problems it seems to be having are with the texture that's running the landscape, so I'm probably going to have to look at that. See, this is the problem. I'm going to have to do some investigation on this. Obviously, reducing the streaming pool is going to really reduce the living shit out of my frame rate. I mean, you know, make my frame rate much better, but at the same time, I need to finish these diaphones. At the same time, there's issues with it. Because this is how that rock should be looking. Even then, you know, I don't know. Where else does this rock peek through? I mean, at the minute it's 12 times over scale. Its original scale is that. There we go, that's where it was. So, I don't know. I do not know. It is a tricky one. I mean, I need a huge rock, basically. Right, so here's some huge rocks. You may recognise some of them already. Just finding one that's kind of the right size for what I need. Some of these are useful and some of these just aren't. As you can see, I've already got some of them. I'm not convinced. I might just have to do it another way. I mean, I'm going to have to fill in some of these empty spots anyway. Ugh, decisions. Can't help but notice there's an awful lot of fog in my scene. My levels, I want to go into my persistent level. World outliner. Let's get rid of the fog. Okay, that's a flog. A bit like a frog. There we are. So, atmospheric fog, exponential height fog. They can all go away. Then we'll get rid of our sky. So, goodbye sky dome. Then we'll get rid of our skylight. That can go away too. Then we'll get rid of our light. There it is. It's getting dark when you get rid of these things. Now I'm going to go down here. Looks like there's still some water effects going on. Get rid of those. Water. Right, now over to here. Because this is where I tend to hide my light. And wait a moment or two. There we go. Next. Directional light. Bring that up 5 degrees. Okay, better. Now, if I go back into my sky dome, set my day-night cycle to 3000 for the minute. The cycle factor of -1, so the sun's rising. Drop my skylight intensity. Check with my sun and everything. Right, not going to tint my sun. I'm going to enable daylight cycles. Cloud distortion for the minute looks okay. I do not have any clouds. And it's doing that weird pinwheel shit at the top here. Which I don't like. Shouldn't be doing that. So let me find my volumetric clouds. Oh, damn. I've got a feeling it's doing that because it's not loading in the textures properly at the minute. So I'm not too concerned, but I do want to have a look at my volumetric cloud blueprint. If it ever opens. Okay. So put one of these fellas in. interestingly, it can't pull this from that. I might have to do it manually anyway. Ugh. Why me? From here. Right, so it's still compiling. As you can see, I'm getting a bit of an FPS death zone going on. It's because it's compiling now. So obviously that's going to cause some issues. So I shall let that do its thing, I think. Okay, so I have been streaming for an hour and 20. I am going to go to the toilet. And so let's move to the end. Hey, thanks for dropping by. I have loved having everyone here, anyone who was here. I will be streaming again probably tomorrow. I'm happy to help anyone who has any questions. Not that many people do, but you know, if you've got a question, ask and thou shalt receive. In the meantime, I shall see you all later on, and much loves. Bye bye for now. Oh, and visit me at